Good evening, Raider baseball fans, and welcome to Friday night Lightning Strike Baseball. Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Francis alongside the one and only Mr. Jonathan Kaspar as the teams that are back out on the field and getting warmed up, so to speak. They'd already gone through their infield and warm-ups, and so we're going to do our regular game thing here in just a moment. But, the one thing about these lightning strike delays is, and keep this in mind, folks, we've been up here the whole time, and we have not heard one clap of thunder or seen one lightning strike. But we have the equipment that actually detects lightning strikes within a certain radius of the field. And if it's a strike within 8 miles of the field, then we have to delay the game. And for each successive strike, we have to delay it for 30 minutes and be lightning free before players and fans can actually come back out.
Yeah, timer starts over for a 30-minute timer each lightning strike. So,
yep. So, with that being said, we're glad that y'all are here with us this evening for some District 25-5A Game 2 action with the Rouse Raiders and the Lockhart Lions to finish off district play. And the Raiders have already clinched the D1 number 1 seed out of District 25-5A. And Jonathan will go over the game scores from Tuesday night's action.
Yes, sir. So, real quick, just a recap here. We are now going to be in the final game of district play, which is going to be game number 14 for district play. And around R25-5A, Rouse able to take care of Lockhart 13-0 on game 1 out in Lockhart. Going game 2 will start here shortly. Cedar Park did take care of Liberty Hill 3-1. So very interesting series there as we need to pay attention. And I've got my fellow game changer scoreboard, and we are at 2-2 currently with Hayes and Lehman. That will be important for Hayes because if they were able to take care of the game against Lehman, that assures them the number 4 seed. But if they lose, then there will be a play-in game if Glenn wins for Glenn and Hayes to be in that fourth and final spot.
Which would be in D1, seed number 2.
Correct. And referencing D1, D2. So again, there is 2 divisions now. Even though you'll have 4 teams, 1 through 4 in your ranking, you'll have 2 higher populated teams, 2 lower populated teams.
Yeah, it follows the UIL football model.
Right, and those that are new to that, as I am, and I had no clue of what all that meant and where we were at, but we've got that, and I'll have that shortly. Hayes Lehman. Hayes did win 7-4 against Kyle Lehman. That loss on Tuesday night took Kyle Lehman out of the equation in the runnings for making it into the playoffs, but they can be a spoiler by winning tonight. Leander and Glenn took care of Leander 3-1. Again, if Glenn wins against Leander tonight, that puts them potentially in the running as long as Hayes loses. So again, got a few different scenarios going on, but Cedar Park, Liberty Hill, Cedar Park taking care of Liberty Hill brings Rouse into a assured tie for district champs against Liberty Hill, with us both having a 2-loss record now. As long as we win tonight, if Liberty Hill wins against Cedar Park, we again are in a tie. If we win and Cedar Park beats Liberty Hill, then your Rouse Raiders will be district champs.
And we do have a prognosticator in the house, Mike Stradamus, who has predicted a sweep of Liberty Hill by Cedar Park.
Yes, he did. And that we'll see what happens. That is going to see how everything plays out, and we will take it from there. But going here to 25-5A standings, we have a new section here at the top for those at home that are watching. We are the number 1 seed.
Yeah, we've clinched.
And have clinched. Liberty Hill has also clinched. Cedar Park has clinched. Again, with the win against Liberty Hill. Had they lost 2 games, then that would have changed things. But they got that win on Tuesday night, so that assures them that seed. All we are waiting on is to determine if Hayes wins, Hayes is in. If Hayes loses and Glenn wins, then they have a play-in game tomorrow. That will determine if they're going to, who's going to make that number 2 seed.
And so just to look ahead, we have playoffs beginning next week, and so we're going to take a peek into District 26 5A standings.
Yes, sir. 26 5A standings sees Bernie Champion sitting at the top at 11-4, 22-7 overall. New Braunfels Canyon, 10-4, 21-6 overall. 1 game behind or ahead, I guess, 1 game ahead in the loss. But and we alluded to this. There's a couple of games that have not been played. Piper, 10-5, Smithson Valley, 10-5. So again, the 3-4 seeds, we'll have to see how that shakes out. Bernie actually falls out at 9-6. And we will then have to see how all of that plays out. But we do have in the house right now, Smithson Valley has shown up to scout our game as we see a Smithson Valley hat making his way right behind home plate. So that pretty much tells us that Smithson Valley, I would take it, is going to be who we play against. Maybe there is a coming out here just to cover, okay? But New Braunfels does not play their last game, and I believe they're also playing against Bernie. They do not play, who's also 9-6, so that's 14 total games. So Bernie and New Braunfels play tomorrow.
Right.
And that will be a determining factor on what happens.
Piper also plays tomorrow.
Very possible, right? Because you have Bernie Champion, Piper. They may be playing tonight. I think New Braunfels plays game 1 tonight, and they play a game tomorrow. So, again, few things to determine about who we play against in 26 5A, but I can assure you that whoever we face over there is going to be a formidable foe, right? I mean, there's definitely some teams that we'd like to see over others, but at this point in time, all we can control is ourselves, and we will welcome anybody and all comers and handle business as best we can as we make our way into playoffs.
The Lockhart Lions come into tonight 7-16 overall. They are 1-12 in district play. Their head coach is Juan Arias, and he is assisted by Garrison Armstrong, Larry Maciel, and their 2024 record was 9-17-1 and 1-13 in district play with 8 returning starters. Your Rouse Raiders come into tonight 27-2 on the season, and they're 11-2 in district play. Their head coach is Chad Krempine. He's in his 24th year with 535 career wins. He's assisted by Manny Perez, Drew David, and Will Noble. Their 2024 record was 34-10 and 10-4 in district play, and were state semifinalists with 4 returning starters.
So as we see the nice pristine view of a unaffected field for the first time ever for Rouse.
It got tested, right? So while we did not have any thunder and lightning here, we did have rain. And it did come down probably for about 10, 15 minutes, Jonathan?
Yes, sir. Nothing crazy, but definitely enough to let you know it was there. And aside from one of our camera views that got a little bit of rain sprinkles on it, which now miraculously has blown away. I didn't have to go down there and clean them off, which is awesome, which indicates that we had a good position for our new camera views in the tops of the dugouts there, and we are going to be in great shape here.
Which if we would have had our old field, we might not be ready to play for another hour or so.
Oh, at least, they would have been dropping a bunch of litter and laying that down. But
with the turf, we're able to go.
Turf is let's rock and roll.
Umpires are making their way to the home plate circle. And coaches will meet up here in just a moment. The old Don is back in the house.
Yep, the original Don.
Mr. Don Miller, but we are without our scoreboard operating extraordinaire, Miss Kathleen Forsell. But, hey, we got a great replacement with Christine Hassanawat. And plus, she's got the game changer so that we can keep up with the other scores throughout the district and keep you apprised of what's going on.
Yeah, Tuesday night I was waving her down every when I figured it was going to get to the second inning, giving an update, fourth inning, giving an update. Some of these games were not delayed, as we did see that we already had a 2-2 game score for the Lehman and Glenn game, Lehman and Hayes. Or was that Glenn? I'm sorry, that was a Glenn. That was Lehman and Hayes, yeah, 2-2. But we'll give you those updates as they become available to us. Obviously, the big one that we are going to be most focused on
would be facing the same delay as we have, considering that we're just 5 miles across from each other, if that much.
Right, and now Lehman is up 3-2 over Hayes. So again, very cool little game scenario going on here. Hayes may have to have a play-in game as long as Glenn is able to take care of Leander. And we're really the most important game, I think, for us at this point is going to be that Cedar Park and Liberty Hill game. We're definitely keeping our fingers crossed for a Cedar Park sweep against Liberty Hill, which would give them 3 losses.
That's the only thing that we have with that, because both those teams go Division II.
Yeah.
So there is no head-to-head tiebreakers that we would have to face for seeding purposes as we would have in past years.
Correct.
Right now, we're just pulling for a Cedar Park win for the outright district championship. The thing with both Liberty Hill and Cedar Park, we will not see them in the playoffs at all. We will not play them like we've played in the past.
Definitely was curious about that. The third round always would see us.
There will be a Division II state champion and a Division I state champion. And so we will not face them in the regional qualifying round or an area round or anything like that, where we would normally face them as we faced Cedar Park the past few years.
So, but we could finish up seeing against another 26-5A foe probably in the third round.
Leading off for the Lockhart Lions as we introduce the lineups, number 3, Jackson Isley in left field. Number 8, Avery Ibarra at short. Batting third will be the catcher, number 2, Santiago Guerra. Batting fourth will be the first baseman, number 11, Parker Connor. Batting fifth will be the center fielder, number 7, Waylon Phillips. Batting sixth will be the pitcher, number 1, Gage Deutsch. Batting seventh will be number 13, Weston Phillips at third base. Batting eighth will be the second baseman, number 6, Jason Chavez. And rounding out the order will be the right fielder, number 4, Xavier Schulke. Which, this is a big toss-up from what we saw on Tuesday night.
Yes,
Schulke was the starting catcher.
Yep.
Ibarra was, Guerra was the right fielder who came in to pitch and then to catch.
Yep. And then Waylon Phillips was at first, and now is over in third.
So, leading off for your Rouse Raiders tonight, left fielder, number 3, Adrian Graves. Batting second will be the second baseman, number 12, Christian Caro. Batting third will be the shortstop, number 7, Jacob Solis. Batting fourth will be the designated hitter, number 9, Mason Gonzalez. He will be hitting for the starting pitcher tonight, number 33, Carter May. Batting fifth will be the center fielder, number 6, Connor Thompson. Batting sixth will be the right fielder, number 27, Adolfo Iribes. Batting seventh will be the first baseman, number 11, Andrew Sanchez. Batting eighth will be the catcher, number 21, Carson Pruitt. Batting ninth will be the third baseman, number 1, Scott Knight.
Yeah, and getting to see Andrew Sanchez make his way into a defensive spot as he's pretty much resided in that designated hitter, but that's where Mason Gonzalez and Andrew are able to flip-flop. So great to see that.
We're going to take a moment for the national anthem, and we'll be right back. We want to thank you for tuning in and watching Rouse Raider Baseball here on SHN Sports. We'll be right back in just one moment. It's baseball time in Texas as we're set to get underway here at Raider Field in Leander on the campus of Rouse High School. Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Francis alongside Mr. Jonathan Kaspar. Defensively for the Raiders, on the mound, number 33, Carter May. Behind the plate, number 21, Carson Pruitt. At first base, number 3, Andrew Sanchez. At second base, number 12, Christian Caro. At third base, number 1, Scott Knight. At short, number 7, Jacob Solis. In left field, number 3, Adrian Graves. In center field, number 6, Connor Thompson. And in right field, number 27, Adolfo Arribes. Due up for the Lions in the first, Jackson Isley, Avery Ibarra, and Santiago Guerra.
Yeah, and Lockhart, Lions only able to bring 9 players for this game here on the road. Tuesday's game, they had 11.
Right.
But they did have a designated hitter in that game. Did a lot of rotating around on the field for the 4 pitchers that they brought into the game. 5 pitchers, actually, I believe they ended up having. And a lot of rotating around, a lot of manipulating our defensive chart as Michael said, it was bleeding green because we used green ink to write down everybody's names, and it was just
for our opposing teams. I use green ink most times unless green is their color. And now
can use Cedar Park green. They get blue.
They get blue, sometimes pink.
Yes. Very nice.
Jackson Isley stands in for the first time, and Carter May will deal. That one fouled off for strike 1, and we are underway here in Leander.
Carter May wasting no time at coming directly at these batters. I'm sure he's going to want to get things rocking and rolling early.
That pitch gets the outside corner for strike 2, and Isley quickly in an 0-2 count. Avery Ibarra on deck. May has the sign. The 0-2 pitch. That's high for ball 1.
It's always fun watching the pitchers when they get up on a batter quick like that on 2 pitches. They have that nice long leg kick or that delay or maybe the double leg kick before they deliver. Try to take off the timing of the batter.
The 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 3. And that will retire Isley for out number 1. That'll bring up Avery Ibarra. Ibarra, the shortstop for the Lions tonight. Santiago Guerra on deck. May winds and deals. This one is cut on and fouled back out of play for strike 1. Well, he's getting his first pitch strikes, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
Not blowing them by, but by contact. So far on both the batters.
Definitely bringing it. You can tell that he's doing a really good job of working downhill off the mound.
The 0-1, that's fouled off for strike 2.
That's one thing we saw very nicely on Tuesday night from Jack Doss. He was absolutely on fire, just crushing the strike zone.
Well, you remember on last Friday night with Carter starting off, Lehman was jumping on his first pitches. That pitch catches him looking for strike 3.
Yeah, that was
And
the
out
first
number 2.
breaking pitch that we got to see from Carter May there, as it's been exclusively fastballs here till that pitch.
Santiago Guerra makes his way to the plate. Guerra, the catcher for the Lions tonight. That'll put Parker Connor on deck. Parker Connor was the designated hitter in Monday night's action. This is fouled back for strike 1. And again, another first strike by contact.
Yes, sir. And I mean, hey, they're offering at the first pitch. I mean, they understand that as well. And just like you mentioned, I mean, they were really drumping on first pitch last series.
That is fouled back for strike 2.
Yeah, the Lobos were really just trying to jump on, and they were having success. They really were. And it was like at some point, it's like, okay, recognize this, right?
Well, then he
And they did eventually in the game.
left
You
one
can
up
watch.
in the zone, and they put it over the fence.
Yes.
The 0-2, a breaking ball cut on and missed for strike 3, and May strikes out the side.
On 9 pitches.
On to the bottom we go. Due up for the Raiders, Adrian Graves, Christian Caro, and Jacob Solis. Defensively for the Lockhart Lions tonight on the mound, number 1, Gage Deutsch. Behind the plate, number 2, Santiago Guerra. At first base, number 11, Parker Connor. At second base, number 6, Jason Chavez. At third base, number 13, Weston Phillips. At short, number 8, Avery Ibarra. In left field, number 3, Jackson Isley. In center field, number 7, Waylon Phillips. And in right field, number 4, Xavier Schulke. I'm trying to remember, did Deutsch come in and pitch any on Tuesday night?
He did not. He was not one of the pitchers. I don't know that I can get back and actually, I should be able to actually.
Yeah, you should be able to go back and see. I thought he may have came in because they pitched like 5 pitchers.
They did have 5 pitchers. Deutsch is number 1. He did. He pitched a third of an inning and threw 5 pitches.
Okay.
3 for strikes. Third of an inning, he had 1 strikeout, no walks. So, yeah, he did actually come in and pitch. That's right. Ibarra went to catcher.
Oh, the backup catcher is Coach Juan Arias. And he's warming up Deutsch.
Waiting for
Guerra to make his way out.
Because Guerra was in the he was the last out. So Guerra was, and so he obviously needed time to be able to put his gear on, and in comes Coach. But yeah, Deutsch did record, but yes, five pitchers. As a recap, combined to throw a total of 2 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Between those 5, giving up the 14 hits in 5 innings of work.
Again, we have the chat line open. Be sure to shout out to your favorite player, favorite team. And if we have any Lockhart listeners listening in this evening, we welcome you to the broadcast. And please shout out your team and your favorite player. And we will be sure to get that out over the broadcast.
And we do welcome everybody to engage in the chat line. We just ask that everybody keeps it friendly.
Yep.
And that's all we ask. And we try to do that here ourselves. And within this broadcast, we love baseball. We love baseball. We love really good baseball. And I'm going to be the first one that's going to give props to any player that's out on this field that's producing.
I don't care. If it's a good play, it's a good play, and they deserve to be recognized for it. These boys are high school kids.
In the same turn, good pitching, good plays. Yeah. They're getting the raw end of the deal. We're going to be the first to let everybody know at home that, that was really a strike, and they just didn't get the advantage of a call there. So, it happens.
It happens. Adrian Graves stands in for the first bat of the Raider inning. That first pitch misses inside for ball 1, a fastball in. Deutsch winds and delivers. That pitch
There
down
it
the middle
is.
for a strike, and the count will
There
go
it
1-1.
Finds the spot that he likes there with the.
Yeah, you notice that he where he stands on the rubber, he's to the third base side of it.
He is.
Swing and a miss. Well, actually, he fouls it off for strike 2.
And that's always something to really keep an eye on. I mean, a lot of these pitchers are so tuned into that spot, just like the batters, right? And you want, baseball is the biggest game of adjustments, and if something's not working for you in that spot, make an adjustment. Slide middle of the mound, maybe towards the first base side, and change things up.
The 1-2 pitch.
Oh, that's
Catches
a
him looking for
strikeout.
strike
Yeah.
3 as he paints that outside corner.
Yeah, great job of pitching there from Deutsch.
So far, every batter that's come to the plate has been struck out for both sides.
That is correct. Not a single ball has been put in play, as I have not had to move off of the batter's box view. For those at home keeping tabs, that is camera number 2.
Christian Caro will take for ball 1.
I do my best to try to remember to switch and try not to get caught up as a
fan,
spectator and a fan, and try to do my job as a engineer here in moving camera views.
The 1-0, that's high for ball 2. And of course, we got Miss Christine Hassanawat in here with us on the scoreboard. Great to have her with us.
More than one scoreboard, too.
She's filled in for Kathleen on a few occasions. The 2-0, that gets the outside corner for strike 1. Gina's on the tunes. There we go. The silent partner standing back behind us as we got 5 in the box today. That pitch gets the outside corner for strike 2.
A little bit generous there.
No, that was a good.
Was it?
Good pitch. Yeah, it was a good
Okay.
pitch.
Wow.
2-2.
He's blocking my view. I can't quite see how much of the plate that caught from where I'm sitting in my little corner over here.
The 2-2 from Deutsch. This is cut on and hit deep into the hole. It's short. The throw will not be in time, and Caro will have a base hit on the infield hit. 1 on with 1 out for Mr. Home Run himself, Jacob Solis. And I say that because he hit a 3-run homer at Lockhart on Tuesday night.
Yeah, Weston Phillips over there laying out, trying to cut that hit off from Christian and not able to get a glove on it.
And Avery Ibarra fielding it deep in the hole at short. That pitch high and outside for ball 1. Mason Gonzalez on deck. Gonzalez, the designated hitter, a different role for him tonight, giving Andrew Sanchez an opportunity to play at first. Deutsch from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch. That's outside.
Oh, wow.
Well, that was outside for a strike.
That was a group. Oh, here, not everybody could hear what I did here, but yeah, everybody here in the
throw over to first
in the box was like
a time as Caro dives back in safely.
No wind hardly at all right now tonight. Probably the least wind that we have had in any game yet this season.
A break. Wow.
Low. He picked it up. You could tell he definitely
that was more of a
drug that one up off the ground
and
tried to bring it
up. I would have called that a strike, and the last one not a strike.
And maybe it's a makeup call.
Maybe. 2-1 the count. The 2-1 pitch. This is popped up and fouled back out of play for strike 2, and the count evens at 2.
Yeah, hit and run was the call there as Christian Caro takes off for second, and Jacob Solis looking to try to slap something through a hole there. And
want to give a shout out to one of our fellow broadcasters, Emilio the Sarge Juarez, for Lions Pride broadcast for the Lockhart baseball team.
Any update on him? How's he?
He told me that he's feeling better today. But again, they're not able to be here and to broadcast, so we welcome any Lions fans to the broadcast. The full count to Solis.
Hope you get better there, Sarge.
Deutsch comes set. That's ball 4, and Solis will draw the walk, and that will put 2 aboard for Mason Gonzalez.
And we now have a runner in scoring position, so I will revert back to the primary view here for those at home. Now we can see a full view. Runner in scoring position, always a great time to.
Connor Thompson on deck. That pitch misses low for ball 1. The line's much deeper here than they were at Lockhart. 325 down the right field line, 324 down the left, and 381 to straightaway center. The 1-0, that gets the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, the biggest field in district play of any of the other fields that we play on. I'm not going to say considerably longer, but definitely longer.
Yeah,
it's noticeably.
I think it's
longer.
the biggest field in all of LISD, and there's a reason for that. Back when Rouse was under construction and Concordia was also under construction, Concordia University played their college games here, and so it had to be built to kind of college specs. That pitch high and outside for ball 2.
Yeah, the did you know for Rouse baseball. We did get a quick update. The Liberty Hill and Cedar Park game is underway, top of the first, and we have a 0-0 stalemate going on early in that game.
Cedar Park, the home team. The 2-1, that is fouled back and out of play for strike 2, and that will even the count at 2.
And likewise with Glenn and Leander also underway, top of the first. So, again, those games finally getting underway, a little bit more delayed than ours, I think, just because they were.
Lightning strike over in the north.
Well, here we go. But we did. Those that were watching the Tuesday night game, we had lightning strikes the entire game Tuesday night.
The 2-2 pitch, that's high and outside for ball 3, and the count works full to Gonzalez.
Yeah, but nothing threatened Tuesday night.
No, we need you to work your magic right
Yeah,
here.
Big God goes up.
No. Come Nona.
Nona.
No. Why did I say Nona? Nona.
That's what we want our pitcher to throw.
Yeah. The payoff pitch, that's fouled off.
Man, stays alive. The runner's obviously moving on a full count. We'll either have a walk, ball in play, strikeout, any one of which are good options for moving as long as they don't get caught up in a double play or triple play option there with both runners moving.
Yeah. That is cut on, and what a play by Phillips. They'll get the out at second on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, Weston Phillips quick on the glove there as he snags that up and gets the play over at
5-4 on the putout of Solis for out number 2 as Caro advances to third, and that was a sharply hit ball.
No doubt he saved a run there, as anything that gets past him likely brings 2 runners home, at least one for sure.
That'll bring up Connor Thompson.
So he's able to save a run there.
Adolfo Arribas on deck. Runners on the corners for Deutsch. He comes set. First pitch is down and away for ball 1. Seeing more lightning strikes, but I think that's the storm that's already past us, so it's moving away from us, I believe. The wind's still kind of coming out of the south.
Yeah, I mean, that storm came directly from the south on us, hence the reason why we did have a little bit of water spotting on the
1-0, that's high. They were trying to get in the double steal. And they
still got him. That's only 2 outs.
Nope, that's 3.
Right? No,
that's 3.
Did I miss?
And that will go 1-4 on the putout of Gonzalez as he was trying to get him to go into a pickle.
Yeah, but we
weren't waiting on it.
We didn't have the break from our That's right.
So Connor Thompson was at the plate. He will come back to lead off the next inning. He was in a 1-ball count. Due up for the Lions in the second, Connor, Phillips, and Deutsch. When I say Phillips, it's Waylon Phillips, because you have two, Waylon and Weston.
Waylon Weston.
Which I believe
Weston is the
Weston
younger.
is the he's the younger. I thought he was the older.
No, Weston is the center fielder. Waylon.
No, Weston is the third baseman.
I'm sorry, Weston is the older. Yes.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
It's
Nona was trying hard, but
darker.
Nona, you're gonna have to work on Mason in that getting caught stealing.
Well, that was he was trying to induce the throw, which he did, but it didn't work to the
Well, he
advantage
probably should have went back to first and then created more of that jam. But
possible.
I mean, we get it that Mason is not the fastest kid on the field. Not that he's not the slowest either. I'm not saying that, but
definitely not the slowest. Yes.
Momo chiming in. Go Raiders. Parker Connor stands in for his first appearance tonight. He will take high and outside for ball one.
The man with two names, first names.
Yeah, some of us have that curse. Some of us have three first names. The 1-0, the swing and a miss. Uh-oh, he went Adrian Beltre style.
He did. He took the knee on the swing there. Adrian Beltre, one of the great Texas Rangers, ex-Texas Rangers. He's not there anymore.
Former Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
He retired a Texas Ranger. 1-1. Had his cut on and hit over to Caro at second. The throw to first in time. And that will retire Connor for out number one. 4-3 on the put out of Connor.
One great thing we do get with Andrew Sanchez over there at first, that's a big target. He is
a big
such
target.
a tall kid over there, and a lot of stretch, a lot of range. And Mesa Gonzalez, unbelievably good defender over there, as he's able to dig everything out. But you get that big old target there, it's hard to really miss that.
That pitch misses for ball one. A little high on him. Pruitt gives the sign. He winds and deals. The 1-0 is outside for ball two. Gage Deutsch on deck. The 2-0 pitch. That's high for ball three.
Yeah, of course, Carter May taking a moment here to do a quick little mental reset as he is down 3-0 here.
First time he's been behind tonight. A 3-0 pitch. That's in for a strike.
Great recovery pitch there, as you would expect out of the senior here, Carter May.
3-1, a fastball. This is hit into right field. Adolfo Uribe in on it, makes the catch. And that will retire Phillips for out number two.
Yeah, he actually hit that too well, as it stayed up and able to allow Adolfo Uribe to run under it and record.
That'll bring up
Deutsch
number two for his first at bat.
Trying to help his own cause here as a starting pitcher for Lockhart.
That pitch in for a strike down the middle, a fastball. Weston Phillips on deck. Breaking ball cut on and missed for strike two, and Deutsch in a quick 0-2 count. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike three, and May retires the side in order. 1-2-3, go the Lions in the second. On to the bottom we go. Due up for your Raiders in the bottom. Thompson, Arrives, and Sanchez. That is your 6, 7, and 8 hitters.
Carter May being very efficient in back-to-back 10-pitch
5,
innings.
6, and 7 hitters.
Okay. Yeah, back-to-back 10-pitch innings for Carter May and just really going right after these Lion batters.
Well, the one thing about it, the Lion batters, Jonathan, they're not afraid to swing the bat. They're not sitting on a lot of pitches, and they're swinging the bat, trying to put something in play and make something happen.
But it's almost a recognition there because they see that these pitches that are coming to them they're not waving at just ugly pitches either, right? I mean, they're being selective to a point, but Carter May is really just coming at them, and challenging each and every batter thus far. And, here it is, man. Get it, and just seeing if he can get that defense working behind him, which so far so good. And oh, great job. Love to see that. Carter May bringing a towel out behind the pitcher's mound because, again, all turf, even including the pitcher's mound, and that's a good spot for them to dry their cleats if they have any type of short cleats. They're not wearing metal because that would be not very good for the turf itself, but you may have a little bit of a plastic cleat, and you don't want them sliding.
Yeah.
And that's probably why he's doing that, is just to help with taking any of the extra little wetness off of those cleats so you're not slipping and sliding on your plant foot as you deliver each pitch. And here we go to the bottom of the second. Again, as mentioned earlier, Connor Thompson getting to start over with a fresh set of pitches here as the third out came on the base path with Mason Gonzalez in his swift of footness that wasn't very swift.
Right, yeah.
He's not a Swifty fan.
Wasn't very fleet of foot.
He wasn't a Swifty fan there, huh?
I'm not either. I am not either.
Sorry, bad dad.
I wasn't that slow, but we had a guy in back when I was in high school. He was so slow, coaches called him molasses. That pitch gets wow. Okay, it doesn't get the outside corner for ball one. How about that? It gets the outside corner for ball one. How about that?
It gets the outside corner, ball one.
The 1-0, that is fouled back and out of play for a strike, and that will even things up at 1. Deutsch from the windup as Guerra gives the sign. The 1-1 pitch. That's high for ball 2. Swing and a miss as he chases one high for strike 2.
Yeah, he was trying to just absolutely send that rocketing the other direction there and came up empty on that swing.
The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. And out number 1 of the second inning. Adolfo Rodriguez makes his way to the plate, batting from the left side, and he will take for a strike.
Yes, he did. Good little late movement there. Looks like a bit of a two-seam fastball.
Andrew Sanchez on deck. The 0-1.
That'll
get the outside corner for strike 2.
And then a quick hole is Arrives.
The 0-2 pitch, that's outside for a ball. Deutsch thought he had him.
Definitely a bit outside there on that one. Close, but not close enough.
The 1-2. That one's low for ball 2, and that will even it up at 2. The 2-2 pitch, that is cut on and hit foul down the left field line.
Yeah, very, very close to staying fair was that one, and just missing by probably about a foot there as it goes foul.
By third base.
Yeah, Weston still right all over it, trying to.
The 2-2.
Oh, and he got
Gets
hit.
On the elbow.
Yeah, he did. That one actually crept a little bit too far inside, and as he looked to offer at it, he checked his swing, and ball did come inside and make contact. So, all right. We'll see if my chiropractor.
Did you have a talk?
Hands. We had a talk, and I gave him. I reset his back just like Tuesday night. So
Rowan Nichols.
We'll see if the chiropractor Kaspar helped again.
Team hollering out Bork. A breaking ball misses high for ball 1. Mr. Steve Kithill in the house. Well, actually, in the chat, on the chat line. Go Raiders from Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
The big state of South Dakota.
Ooh.
That pitch in for a strike as Gage.
Oh, man. Took a
Gage slipped a little bit, took a spill.
Hence the reason for that towel that Carter May brought out there earlier, but Deutsch not looking to use that to help. We'll see if that happens again.
1-1 the count to Sanchez. That is in on the hands and fouled off for strike 2. Carson Pruitt on deck.
Up, and we do not have. There we go.
One on with one out.
Lockhart trainer making her way up the foul territory as she's
scout fielding percentage. Who knew that a trainer would get involved in the contest?
I'll tell you what, that coach wasn't. The coach wasn't. They are actually
told her to step it up.
Well, yeah, because they're holding up the game. Running. They're holding up the game. They're not normally. You would see most of the players that run up there. They would continue.
Oh, she's a lefty. Oh, and he didn't even go in any extra. Juan Arias comes out of the dugout to field the ball cleanly. Oh, my goodness. He's helping out his coach's dugout box fielding percentage.
Wow, that's a...
The 1-2 there is hit the left. Will it stay up? And it does as Jackson Isley makes the catch.
Absolutely nuked right at Jackson Isley and didn't have to move a little, maybe walked in one step to make that catch. And yeah, we got to keep things interesting here, even on foul balls, folks, as we have on deck fielding percentage, we have batter's box fielding percentage, coach's box fielding percentage.
Silly made-up stats by Francis and the crew. That pitch high for ball 1.
And we are keeping tabs on this, folks, on these guys that aren't keeping their on-deck fielding percentage up.
Yeah, we got batter's box fielding percentage. We got umpire's box fielding percentage. Oh, little getting right on the shoulder.
That was
a shot
on the hands, and that I actually talked with Carson Pruitt before the game and asked him how I thought it was his hip that got hit pretty solidly Tuesday night. He goes, no, it was my calf. It actually had come in and it looked like it hit him on the left hip, but it dropped and actually hit him in the right calf. And I was like, that's why you were walking that way. And he goes, oh yeah. And it just only got tighter as the game went.
That'll bring up Scott Knight. Runners at first and second with one out for Knight. Knight batting 9th in the order.
Yeah, he was actually had a really good outing Tuesday night.
It shows bunt. He lays off for ball 1.
And he's looking at bunt with 2 outs on. So
No, it's 1 out.
Only 1 out.
Oh, no, it is 2 outs.
I'll say it's 2 outs. Like
I forgot about Sanchez.
Yeah, I was like, wait, we got 2 outs, and he's still looking to round out to bunt. You know, again, Scott Knight very quick up the line, so not going to take that out of his hands or his capabilities.
That pitch high for ball 2. 2-0.
but he wielded the bat very well Tuesday night, I believe, getting a couple of hits out of the 9 spot.
That pitch.
Yeah, I did.
That's a little.
Better than the other one that we saw call, but that one definitely caught, I think, a piece of the plate, or close enough to a piece to get the strike call.
I'm disagreeing with that, and Christine is too. Now that was a strike.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That was a strike every day and twice on Sundays.
Even the second Tuesday of the week.
Even. Huh?
Huh?
Huh? Huh? Deuce is wild for night.
Oh, that was it.
Swing goes around.
You just got strikes called on you on that same position. You can't watch it a third time, folks.
On to the third we go. The Raiders get no runs on no hits. They leave 2. And we're still scoreless here at Raider Field.
Pitcher duel going tonight, folks, with Deutsch off of 1/3 of an inning of work on Tuesday night and picking up where he left off. He had 1 strikeout, no walks in that game. And
he's got 3 strikeouts so far on the night compared to 4 by Carter May.
Yeah, Carter May. Actually, only 21 total pitches, 16 for strikes through 2 innings. And 46 pitches for Deutsch. So definitely a big difference there in quality of pitches, as Carter May is just pounding the strike zone and just getting offers and swings and misses. And I think about only 1 ball in play in the first 2 innings. Yeah. Is that correct? Which was I think 2. We had a line drive out to right field.
Oh, for Lockhart?
Yes.
Yeah, they grounded the second and flew out to right.
And now a new scoreboard update. Midway through the second, Cedar Park and Liberty Hill are all still at 0. Likewise, Glenn and Leander at 0.
And do we have anything on Lehman Hayes?
Lehman has now moved up to 4-2 advantage over Hayes. And that was through, I didn't quite catch that. That's bottom 7.
Fastball.
So that game's almost complete, folks. They're bottom of 7, and Hayes is at their last at bat with 1 out.
To Weston Phillips.
So unless Hayes can actually get 2 more runs across.
Swing and a miss for strike 2, and Weston Phillips quickly in an 0-2 hole.
Sorry, but yeah, if Hayes does not get 2 runs in to go to extra innings or 3 to win it, they will be in a potential battle.
That pitch outside for ball 1.
For the 4th spot.
I've been wanting us to expound on the new playoff format, and we'll do that in between innings for you, Steve.
Steve, you got to get on this broadcast earlier, my friend. I mean,
breaking ball high for ball 2. 2-2.
You're late to the party, buddy.
We did actually cover that in the pregame.
Pretty extensively, I might add.
We'll get
but we'll be more than happy to do that.
Absolutely.
For you old guys.
For other people that may have come in the broadcast, swinging a miss for strike 3, and that will do it for Phillips. Out number 1 here in the top of the 3rd. That'll bring up the second baseman, Jason Chavez. On deck will be Schulke.
Yeah, the next half inning, we'll go ahead and bring up the 25-5A standings, and that'll actually give it a nice little review visual, for where we sit right now.
That pitch outside for ball 1. The 1-0. This is hit back up the middle. Caro has it. The throw to first in time.
Good job. Great defensive play there from Christian Caro.
That'll go 4-3 on the putout of Chavez.
Yeah, Johnny on the spot there was Christian Caro as he ranges to his right, catches the 1 hop, and has a good solid throw across the diamond to get the out.
That'll bring up Xavier Schulke. Schulke, the right fielder tonight for the Lions. And answer to your question, to the last question and the third part of your question, Steve, the throw to first.
Pulls him out.
Schulke picks up the first hit.
Error.
That will be an error?
That's an error. That's a throwing error on Scott Knight. That actually threw it up high enough that
I thought he
took him off. No, it took actually Andrew Sanchez off the bag.
I called it a hit.
Yeah, he had to jump high to actually catch that ball.
I think he beat that out. It was a slow enough roller to third.
I mean,
I'm giving the hit.
You got a better angle on that part of it than I do.
Yeah.
I just watched that Andrew did get pulled off the bag. So
that'll be the first hit for Lockhart. That pitch in for a strike to Isley.
Scott Knight got saved there with the hit call.
Isley 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first. Throw to second or first and not in time. But yes, Steve, there will be two state champions. There will be a D2 Division II champion and a Division I champion. This will be hit back up the middle. This will be for one, and that will be it. At second, they'll get the fours.
Work there from Jacob Solis.
That'll go 6-4 on the put out of Schulke as Isley hits into a fielder's choice to end the third.
And we do now have a scoreboard final. Lehman winning 4-2 against the Hayes.
And so now Glenn has to win.
So Kid Hill, listen up. This is where it gets a little crazy. So D1, let me go ahead and bring this up for those that wanted to know. 25-5A standing. So again, Division I, Division II. These are actually sanctioned or determined by total population of the school, right? You have higher population schools, lower population schools. However that unfolds.
It's from the snapshot back in September of last year.
And however that unfolds will determine who your 1-2 is of each division. You have your highest populated teams in the 1 and 2 spot of Division I, your lower populating teams in the Division II, 1 and 2 slots. The Division II has already been determined by Liberty Hill and Cedar Park by their records. Liberty Hill is obviously currently in the 1 slot in our division, tied with Rouse, with ourselves. So we are now locked in with only this game tonight to be played in the 1 slot. Now, the number 2 D1 2 slot is now between Glenn and Hayes.
That's if Glenn wins.
If Glenn wins, because Hayes has already lost. So now, if Glenn wins against Leander, that will bring a play-in game for the 4th seed or Division 1, 2 seed to be played. But it still will be the 4th seed in district play.
Yeah.
Because you still have district 1
still be 4th in the standings.
Yeah.
So, but if Glenn loses, then that puts Hayes in automatically. The first pitch to Graves is cut on and missed for strike 1.
So without being too confusing, we hope that actually clears things up.
In stereo, Graves 0 for 1. He struck out looking back in the first. Throw to first.
And another one
not
takes
in
him
time.
off.
He pulls him off, and that will be an E5.
Yeah, very similar fashion to what happened with Scott Knight there. But
yep, that will be an error.
Labeled as a hit. For
not a hit. That is an error.
I'm talking about Scott Knight's throwing.
Oh,
same thing that happened in the previous inning.
That's an error on the third baseman. But she gave him a hit on the scoreboard.
No, she did it because you said it was a hit.
I did not. I just said it was put in play.
No.
Oh, did I say it was?
I'm talking about Scott Knight's deal. I'm talking about the last.
Oh,
inning,
you're talking about the last inning. Yeah. No, that's throw to first is not in time as Graves dives back in safely. Deutsch from the stretch to Caro. That pitch gets the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count to Caro. Graves extends his lead at first. Caro shows bunt. And he will foul this bunt back for strike 2.
Not a good offering there for bunt from Christian Caro, as he will now look to make amends and get back in the good graces of Coach Krimping by putting this ball in play and advancing the runner. And if he can get on in the process, it's even better.
Breaking ball high and outside for ball 1.
But he will have to do it from a 1-2 hole.
Jacob Solis on deck. Graves extends his lead at first. Deutsch comes set. The 1-2 pitch. This is fouled back.
Staying alive, staying alive. Oh.
Guerra gives the sign. Deutsch takes a long look in. He comes set. The 1-2. This is hit to left field. And Isley gets underneath it. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Or out number 1. And it's a fly out to left.
Yeah, and Graves all the way to second base, knowing that it wasn't deep enough to be able to tag up, and he went ahead and got all the way to second, just in the off chance of a dropped ball, but not that lucky as he had to retreat.
Jacob Solis stands in, and he will take for a strike a breaking ball down the middle.
Deutsch really keeping the Rouse hitters off balance here, working a lot of breaking pitches in with strike and with the fastball, and really doing a good job top to bottom, in the strike zone.
The 0-1, that's high. The throw down to second, not in time. As Graves will pick up a stolen base. So Steve is asking, how many rounds must a team win to be the state champion? It's still, I believe, Steve, it's the same number of rounds as it's always been. The difference is that this year, the only games that will be played at the Dale are the state championships. The semifinals, the state semifinals, will be a best-of-3 series.
In a neutral
location.
Yeah, so there's no situation in which we will face Cedar Park or Liberty Hill.
Yeah, that pitch outside for a ball.
That's probably closer to maybe the question that you were going to be asking, because as we have always faced Cedar Park in round 3 over the last several years, and dominated, by the way, just throwing that out there.
That pitch gets away from Guerra. The throw down to third is not in time, and that'll squib away from Phillips, but it'll not far enough that Graves could advance to home plate.
And if I do recall correctly, a few years back in 2021, that was one of the best final game calls of Rouse Raider history, with Mr. Steve Kithill.
Oh, mystery. Yes, yes, yes.
Rouse wins. Rouse wins.
Yeah, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't say Rouse wins. It was just yes, 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 yes. And I'm trying to remember what I said at the time. I said, Steve, you said it. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. And that was a swing and a miss for strike 2, and the count goes full. Something like that. I still go back and listen to that broadcast every great once in a while just to hear that great call by Mr. Kithill. Deutsch from the stretch, the payoff pitch, swing and a miss. for strike 3. 2 away for Mason Gonzalez.
And first potential run of this game sits only 90 feet away for the Rouse Raiders to try to get on the board here. It's going to have to come off of Mr. Big Gonzo here at the plate.
That pitch, wow, that's a good move by Guerra.
Santiago Guerra is doing a great job back there behind the plate, stopping everything.
He's playing with some passion behind the plate.
Yes, he is. And
Michelle Nelson checking in. Let's go Raiders. Let's get third base home. Absolutely. Let's get them home. The 1-0 delivery, that's high and outside for ball 2.
And it's not going to hurt here to put him on, but at the same time, that does bring in one of the hottest hitters within this lineup, and that'd be Connor Thompson. Last week's Player of the Week, voted on by American Statesman.
Breaking ball, that one gets the corner for a strike, and the count will go 2-1.
Yeah, he had a great series against the Lehman Lobos, going 5 for 8, 7 RBIs, a home run, a triple, a double, several singles, doing it all at the plate.
A 2-1, that's high and outside for ball 3, and the count goes 3-1.
And one of those was a 3-run jack against Kyle.
Three-one pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 2, and that will take the count full.
Keep your head in there, dude. Keep your head in there. Be good. Mason trying to do a little too much with that last pitch.
The payoff pitch, that's down and away for ball 4, and Deutsch will issue a walk.
Once again.
That's his second walk of the night.
Getting on, and now Connor Thompson makes his way in.
He's had 2 walks and 2 hit batters.
And now Liberty Hill puts their number on the board here, going up 1-0 midway through the third against Cedar Park.
Steve said, "You're making me blush." That pitch down and away for ball 1 to Mr. Thompson. Adolfo Uribe on deck. The 1-0. That'll get the outside corner for a strike. Umpire doing a pretty good job behind the plate tonight.
I would say so. I mean, you're going to have the sprinklings here and there of missed calls, and that happens at every level. Everybody.
The 1-1. That's outside.
That was
for a strike.
Just a piece. Just a piece there. It was close, borderline, but he's already called that a couple of times tonight, so got to respect that and be ready as a batter.
Deutsch comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And Thompson with back-to-back strikeouts. That'll end the Raider third. They get no runs on no hits. They leave 2. They've stranded 6. And on our way to the 4th.
Stranded 6 versus stranding
none.
Well, they had 1 base runner.
He got out at second. On the fielder's choice.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It was a 6-4 putout.
Yeah.
On a fielder's choice on a third out. Due up for the Lions in the 4th. Ibarra, Guerra, and Connor.
Through 3 innings of work here, we've got no hits by Lockhart. 2 hits by your Rouse Raiders, along with 1 error by Rouse. Pitching, Carter May, 31 pitches, 23 for strikes. And Deutsch, 69 pitches, 38 for strikes. So
that's through 4.
Something to keep an eye out.
Plus, he's got the 5 pitches from the other night.
Yeah, that does factor in, folks. Again, he had five pitches, and again, it's 110 total. So we'd have to strike that on. So he's at 74 total pitches here. So if he's not able to corral that and keep that down, we will definitely be seeing the revolving door of action like we did on Tuesday night.
That'll bring up Avery Ibarra. He is 0 for 1. He struck out looking back in the first. He shows bunt, stabs at it, and is rung up on a strike.
Right there. Is not able to make any kind of contact with that pitch. Good crisp breaking pitch from Carter May.
0-1, that's in for a strike. A little breaking ball off speed action.
Same exact pitch there, just bringing that a little bit closer to over the plate. Will he go to the Uno?
Swing and a miss for strike 3.
Nope, he likes the breaking pitch against Guerra, as that was exclusive.
Ibarra.
Or Ibarra, sorry, excuse me.
That'll bring up Guerra. Guerra 0 for 1. He struck out back in the first.
I knew Guerra was there somewhere. He was on deck. Sorry about that, folks. Ibarra, 3 straight pitches, 3 swings, 3 whiffs. All on the breaking pitch.
May toes in. He winds and deals a fastball. Misses low for ball 1. The 1-0 delivery, a swing and a miss on a pitch outside.
Yeah,
that will even things up at 1.
Low and away offered at by Guerra.
And pitch outside for ball 2.
Just a little too far off the plate there from Carter May. Not able to get the strike call.
That pitch outside for ball 3. 3-1 the count. That pitch.
Oh, he did. He fouled it. Yeah, I thought he made a little contact with that. He checked his swing, and the check was fine. But even during the check swing, it just a nick of the bat. Yeah.
So that will take the count full.
I noticed I was watching that. It sounded like it hit from here.
Swing and a miss for strike 3.
And actually keeps Carter May in this at bat here and able to right what he wasn't able to make happen in the first few pitches there, getting that little outside pitch. And this one, he breaking pitch worked perfectly right over the middle and gets the swing and miss.
That'll bring up Parker Connor. He is 0 for 1. He grounded to second his first time up, and he will take outside for ball 1. Waylon Phillips on deck.
Not seeing any lights in the sky anymore, so looks like that's passed.
Up in the north, that pitch down the middle for a strike.
Very muggy out though. Got a white haze there in the lights.
That is cut on and hit over to third. Scott Knight has it. Throw to first in time, and that will do it. 5-3 on the putout of Connor. And they go in order in the fourth. On to the bottom we go. Still scoreless here at Raider Field. Due up for the Raiders, Arribas, Sanchez, and Pruitt.
Yeah, great defensive work there over at first base. Not really seeing them miss a beat going from Mason Gonzalez to Andrew Sanchez. And I know why he did it. You know, Coach loves having that lefty pitcher, right? And having that at his disposal. And it's not anything that we've been able to see yet from Mason other than earlier in this season. You know, Mason did come in a couple of spots, you know, and that may be a situation where we do see that tonight. to keep that arm fresh and have that lefty pitcher. And, like again, in that arsenal, for Coach Crimpine, it definitely adds something, to your bullpen. And whenever you can bring that person in situations against certain hitters, you always like that lefty on lefty matchup. And we did see a lot of lefties earlier this season, within several of Liberty Hill, Leander, Hayes having a ton of lefties in their lineup. And, probably something that we'll see at the next level in the first series, whether that be against New Braunfels or Smithson Valley.
Right, yeah.
Which I think are the two that we're looking to go against. In the
first round.
By district round?
By district round.
It's
by district, area,
regional,
quarterfinal, semifinal, final, state semifinal. So I wonder if they'll still call that a state semifinal.
Yeah. And that's maybe where Kid Hill was coming in asking that question, is how many rounds are there, right?
I mean, it's still the same number of rounds. It's just, what will they call that round now? Will it be a state semifinal, or you just go state or state champion? I would still say it had to be a state semifinal.
But you got to figure there's got to be a loss somewhere in there.
No, because you still are taking Region 1 versus Region 4, which is
Region
1, or Region 2 versus Region 3. So, and that will be the region champions versus each other. And then the winners from those two games, or those two series, will meet in the state championship. So it would still have to be a state semifinalist because it's Pitt's region champions.
I would imagine once next week comes to be Monday, we should be able to see a physical bracket, and I'm sure that's probably not out yet because the teams have not been determined and won't be determined until after Saturday.
That pitch low for a ball to Erives as he stands in. He was hit by a pitch his first time up.
Yeah, it was a unique situation in the 26-5A district that they were.
That pitch. He's generous on that outside corner.
He is. He has.
He's for sure.
He has been. And
they won the count.
26-5A was supposed to have some district games during the Comal tournament, and that didn't work out.
He goes back to the same spot, and this time he didn't call it strike.
That didn't work out. That's why we actually have some Saturday games to finalize the 26-5A district standings.
2-1, the count to Erives. This is lined over the head of Agata into left center. Erives wins the second around first and heads for second for a stand-up double.
Great piece of hitting there. Caught that one on the screws. And
the Stars checking in. Great game. Great call so far. I can't thank you guys enough for sharing with our Lion fans who couldn't make it to the game tonight. You are very welcome, my friend. Absolutely. We're pleased to have any Lockhart Lion fans listening in with us.
That is correct. And again, please let us know you're there. Let us know you're listening in. Give a shout out to your favorite player.
Bork lays down a punt. The slip of that by.
And great recognition by Andrew Sanchez as he doesn't miss a beat on the overthrow.
As Chavez
slipped.
Goes to cover first, and he slid across the bag, and as he fell, the ball went over his head, so I can't really say that's an errant throw. I don't know.
No, really the throw was right on the money.
Because if he'd been standing up, Sanchez would have been out at first.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that you got to post an error because it's not a hit that created it, so it's got to be on Chavez for the slip and fall. That's an E4 because he was covering the bag.
I just don't know.
That's what I'm going to go with is E4.
Because the throw was good.
Throw was right on the money.
And he wasn't the first baseman, so he was covering.
Right.
And he just didn't plant his feet well enough and slid. Pruitt shows bunt, and he'll take the strike.
Took a stab at that one, trying to just get it in play, and came up empty. similarly to.
I mean, it was a great effort by the Lions to try to get the play at first and hold Arribas at third by getting the out at first.
Time call.
Umpire calls time, and I think
there.
maybe
Carson
Deutsch
did.
may have called time. Sanchez extends his lead at second. The 0-1, a check swing and a strike. And that'll put Pruitt in a quick 0-2 count.
All right, Carson Pruitt, right here, baby, right here. Make it happen.
Scott Knight on deck. Nona checks in. Way to go.
Yeah, breaks our stalemate of zeros with that off-script play.
Swing and a miss for strike three.
That actually only the first out of this inning.
That is the sixth punch out for Deutsch on the night.
Yeah, he's been bringing it, no doubt. I mean, again, high in the pitch count as he's gone deep in a few of the counts to the players, but in allowing
that was a 3-pitch strikeout, right?
Understood. Yeah, no, earlier, But Scott Knight represents the number 9 batter for the Rouse Raiders. Be back to the top of the lineup. That was first pitch high for ball 1.
Knight is 0 for 1. He struck out back in the second. Adrian Graves on deck. Swing and a miss for strike 1. That will even things up. Meemaw and Papa checking in. Let's go Raiders. Woohoo! Way to go. The 1-1. That's low for ball 2. Who's that? Cedar Park?
Wow.
Who's pitching? Mitchell for Cedar Park? For 2-1, this is fouled back and out of play. And the count will even up at 2.
Yeah, getting the quick play-by-play there. What Michael's talking about is Liberty Hill had bases loaded with only 1 out and not able to plate a run, as I believe it is still 1-0.
Yeah.
Still 1-0. Liberty Hill's up. Had an opportunity there to bring in some more runs, and
the 2-2 pitch, that's inside for ball 3, and the count works full. Chris Driscoll checking in. Let's go Raiders. Coach Driscoll missing the action, but cheering from Lake Buchanan. Shout out to my favorite player, Colby Driscoll. Keep it up, boys.
I'm sure we will see Colby at some point in time in this game.
That pitch outside for ball 4.
Could be as a possible designated hitter situation. Could be in as catcher.
Brian Reed checking in. Let Liberty Hill lead Cedar Park 1-0. Yes, Jonathan was mentioned, they had bases loaded with 1 out and left them stranded. That pitch high for ball 1. To Adrian Graves. Adrian Graves has reached on an error, and he has struck out looking.
Yeah, Raiders able to get 1 run across, but Deutsch is going to be up against the pitch count here before too long.
Swing and a miss for a strike.
Especially if they were able to, Rouse hitters are able to go deep into a few of these counts.
Going to be close in the district. The 1-1, that's high for ball 2. Now for the Raiders, if they win tonight and Liberty Hill loses, that pitch high for ball 3, then Rouse would be the outright district champ. If Rouse and Liberty Hill both win, then they will be co-champs of the district.
Nothing new there.
With 2 losses. The 3-1, that's outside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. as Deutsch issues back-to-back walks.
And again, running that pitch count up. And we are getting a quick visit. Does not look like it's going to be the hook, as this is the assistant coach.
Yeah, this is
for Lockhart.
Coach Armstrong.
Coach Armstrong
makes his way out to the mound.
Just to give a little pep talk, Deutsch has been doing a great job, really. I mean, again, I mentioned it earlier, really keeping the Rouse Raiders batters off balance, able to work it. A little bit hard to work up to the top of the zone. This home plate umpire has really given nothing that's high. He has been a little bit left to right, given a little bit of things that are a little outside of the strike zone as far as the plate goes. But top to bottom, he's been very consistent, and always love seeing that. Still, Glenn and Leander 0-0, but only in the bottom of the third. So that would tell me we probably had a lot of base runners, but just nobody coming across. So a lot of guys getting on, especially with them starting. I guess they started right about the same time as we did. We're only in the fourth, bottom of the fourth, so they're a bit hitting behind us.
That'll bring up Christian Caro. Caro is singled and flown out to left. Bases loaded with one out.
Oh, did he get?
That almost gets him. Spins him out of the box.
Did
for
they
ball
call it
one.
No, they didn't call it a strike. I was just sure sounded like it hit him, but from up here.
Jacob Solis on deck. The 1-0 pitch, that'll get the outside corner for a strike. And that will even it up at 1.
Oh, Cedar Park coming alive, getting a scratch and a run across, and now it's all tied.
The 1-1 pitch, this is hit back up the middle. The throw home for the force on the fielder's choice is Deutsch played heads up.
Yeah, great defensive awareness there by Deutsch, who's able to knock the ball down, but then collect himself and know that he needed to come home to cut that run down to get the second out. Again, great job there, making sure of one and not allowing a run to get across at the same time. So great job.
That'll bring up Solis. He is 0 for 2. That pitch in for a strike. Mason Gonzalez on deck. Deutsch comes set. Breaking ball. It's the outside corner.
Ooh. Wow, that was high.
0-2 the count to Solis. That pitch high and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, even Solis looked back on that last pitch and was just like, really? Okay.
That pitch inside for ball 2. He goes with the breaking ball and low and inside.
Yeah, great patience here seen by Jacob Solis, not offering and swinging. And
especially being in an 0-2
count. On an 0-2 count. And definitely could get antsy up there.
Wild. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And the Raiders blow a great opportunity with bases loaded. They get 1 run on 1 hit. They strand 3. And on to the 5th we go. The Raiders leading at 1-0.
But that is the key. They are able to plate 1 run. And now after 4 total innings, that does bring 96 pitches in this game, which means
101 pitches.
And 1 total pitches overall. So Deutsch will be able to come out to start
but he probably
the
faced
5th
one batter.
inning. But yeah, in reality, he can start anybody prior to the 110 pitch count. He can finish anybody as long as he's under that 110 when he starts that at bat. So it's been very effective. I would think that Coach Arias is going to stick with him as long as possible. He's been, again, very effective. He did I think he finished the game and got that third out in Tuesday night's game with, again, 1 inning pitched, only five total, or a third of an inning, 5 total pitches. So
he had 105 pitches available.
Time of the 5th inning, the Lions center fielder number 7 waited.
Waylon Phillips will make his way to the plate. Due up is Phillips, Deutsch, and Phillips.
the law firm.
Phillips 0 for 1. He flew out right his first time.
Outside pitch, catching the strike zone.
In for a strike.
Oh, we're frozen.
On what?
Camera 2.
Okay, well, just don't go to camera 2.
Will not be going to camera 2.
Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Bunch of giggle britches over here. Don't go to camera 2. I'm not going to go to camera 2.
Not exactly sure why it froze up. Breaking ball way outside.
Okay.
For strike 3.
We will take it, but definitely not very.
Well, it looked good to him, or he wouldn't have swung.
I mean, these guys are pretty solid, though. They really haven't been offering at a lot of these.
That is strikeout number 8 for Carter May. Fastball low for ball 1. Deutsch 0 for 1. He struck out back in the second. Weston Phillips on deck. Breaking ball outside for ball 2. The 2-0 pitch, that's in on the hands and fouled off for a strike.
Doing a quick little reset, see if we can regain our camera 2 feed.
There we go. Mr. Jonathan Kaspar, engineer extraordinaire.
All over it, folks.
The 2-1 pitch. Oh, he looked like he wanted to call that one, but he didn't. It's outside.
For a pause there.
Ball 3. It was a long pause.
Yeah, it was a good breaking pitch, but I would agree it was not a strike.
The 3-1. That's down the middle for a strike, and Deutsch knew that himself. He's like, oh, I should have swung.
I'm all over camera 2. Camera 2's good.
It is good. Look at him go.
And we got picture-in-picture, folks. So you
full
camera
count.
1 and camera 2.
The payoff pitch from May. That is down the middle. Deutsch spoils a very good pitch. I think that is Jacob Sines helping out his dugout fielding percentage.
Go. Any activity going on over there, my man?
It looks like there is activity going. This is fouled back.
Oh, we do have activity. In
you see this?
Bullpen.
Look at this, Jonathan. Look at that. Jason Chavez comes from the hole to take care of the fielding percentage of Weston Phillips.
Twice. Weston Phillips not able to corral the ball.
Oh, my goodness.
Chavez tossed it to him once. He missed it. He turned around, tossed it to him again. He missed it again.
Oh, man.
Weston's having all kinds of fits over in that on-deck circle.
These silly stats we come up with.
And we have a great battle going here.
The payoff pitch.
Yeah,
he did go around, and May will issue a walk.
Did the first walk of the game? Is that correct?
That is the first walk of the game for Mr. May.
Wow. Third base, number 13, Weston Phillips.
The second base runner for the Lions tonight. As Weston Phillips comes to the plate, he's 0 for 1. He struck out back in the third.
Oh, he double pumped. He double pumped with the runner on, and they called the balk. You're not allowed to do that, folks. Carter May knew it exactly the time he did it, and home plate umpire called him out on it.
The Lions have a runner in the tying run in scoring position with 1 out. That pitch will get the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, so I mentioned it earlier, whenever they get a 0-2 count on a batter, they may give that little double pump of the leg before they do the delivery. Well, he did it again there, but you can't do that when you have a runner on, and there was the error.
This is fouled back for strike 2. Again, Jacob Sines with the on-deck fielding, the dugout fielding percentage.
Yeah, and that time, coming out of the dugout was Xavier Schulke looking to help his bullpen fielding percentage and
bullpen. He came out of the bullpen?
Not the bullpen, sorry, dugout.
Man, I don't think you can have a bullpen fielding percentage. Swing and a miss for strike 3.
Yeah, you could. It'd be a little hard. He'd be passing a lot of people to get there, I'll tell you.
Well, he'd have to come over the dugout and the fence, and that would be some highlight reel stuff.
Spider-Man stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Scale the fence.
That'll bring up Jason Chavez. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to second his first time up.
And a time call there by home plate umpire.
That was Chavez calling time.
Just resetting himself.
The first pitch from May. What a beautiful breaking ball. Cut on and missed for strike 1.
Working extremely well this evening is that breaking pitch from Carter May.
Xavier Schulke on deck. That pitch.
A little hit and
fouled off for strike 2.
A little hit and run action going on there, and Chavez hoping to try to put something in play to possibly scratch out a run here with 2 outs, but that was a harmless foul.
May has the sign. 0-2 count to Chavez. Fastball. This is cut on and hit foul down the right field line. Sanchez will take the carom and toss it back to the dugout.
Wonder if that's hey man, he's offering at these off-speed outside pitches. Let's burn him with an inside fastball.
Earl third with 1 out. Cedar Park. The 0-2, that pitch down and away for a ball.
Got a few pitches to work with as he's still up 1-2 in the count as Carter May, and here's that opportunity to try to sneak something out of the zone and get a swing and a whiff, possibly.
The 1-2 pitch from May. And Deutsch will steal third as there was no throw. I don't get why
no throw. Yeah,
that's that.
I mean, there's always that.
I think
really focus on the batter, but at the same time, he gives a swing and a miss. And new update here in the Liberty Hill Cedar Park game, bottom of 5. Cedar Park has now taken a 2-1 advantage.
Down and away. There is some activity in the Raider bullpen.
Probably the same Jacob Sines that had a great dugout fielding percentage.
Payoff pitch, 12 minutes for strike 3. And that will end the Lockhart threat. They get no runs on no hits. They leave one.
And will Deutsch come back out?
It's 1-0 Rouse.
To pitch is the question. As once again, he is up against 100 and
that's the 10th strikeout for Carter May.
1 pitches, and here he comes to pitch one last time, unless he can somehow get 3 up, 3 down on 9 pitches or less.
Cedar Park has 1 on with 1 out.
And they're up 2-1.
At first, and they're up 2-1.
I would say let me give a quick little text to my boy Jeff Neuenschwander and see how he's feeling in this game with Liberty Hill and Cedar Park right now.
Due up for the Raiders, Gonzalez, Thompson, and Arribas. As Deutsch finishes his warm-up throws.
Yeah, and again, folks, he is sitting at 96 total pitches tonight, but he does have the carryover from 5 pitches Tuesday. Well,
101.
it's within the week, correct?
Yeah, you have to have so many days rest in between.
4.
It's like 4 days.
Can't be 3, right? Because that's still 3, but that still would allow for the same guy to pitch Tuesday night and Friday night, and that's why they did away with that. I mean, there used to be
so pitchers wouldn't get
rotation
pitched.
Well, not just so much the overpitch, but they had a rotation where you would have. It was never the same team the same week, right? You would have a rotation where Tuesday was, say, Liberty Hill, and then Friday was Cedar Park, right? And that allowed for you to always have your ace to play against the top matchup in your division.
Pitch a ball to Mason Gonzalez. Gonzalez has a walk and a fielder's choice. And he was caught stealing at second.
Mama Diaz in the house.
Deutsch from the windup. That pitch in for a strike, and that will even the count at 1.
Oh, she's over there giggling and carrying on, cutting up in here, causing turmoil in our peaceful press box.
A called strike, looked low, but 1-2. Connor Thompson on deck.
No, we need you here.
The 1-2 pitch. This is poked out to left, but goes foul.
Luckily, it does go far enough foul because giving chase was Jackson Isley, and who would have been all over that had it stayed closer to the fair line.
Oh, look at that. We've got an assist from Coach Armstrong there out of the dugout. The 1-2, that's outside.
That was outside, folks. Not a strike.
That was not a strike.
Still. It's been suspect to be called tonight, but that was not a strike.
Letty Martinez checking in. Let's go, Lockhart. Let's go, Santi. This is hit deep to left. Isley will camp underneath it. He'll make the catch, and that will be a long fly ball out for Mason Gonzalez. One away. That should put him like at 106 or 107 pitches, right?
107. So this likely to be his last batter that he will face. Yeah, I see.
Swing and a miss.
Coach Arias is looking at his assistants there in the bullpen or in the dugout asking that pitch count.
Connor Thompson is 0 for 2 with strikeouts. That pitch gets the outside corner for a strike.
Gosh, that looked low, like he was pulling that up out of the brown turf, or the dirt, as we would call it.
The 0-2, swing and a miss. As Deutsch
Still should be.
has turned the hat trick on Connor Thompson for.
And they're not making the
3
move
straight
to come get him. I don't know that they realize, unless our count is different than their count. That is 105 pitches, and they're not coming to get him. So maybe they don't realize, or our pitch count could be off, folks. I mean, I'm going off a game changer, and
That pitch in for a strike. The 0-1, that's low for a ball.
nobody is warming up.
The 1-1, that is fouled away for a strike. For Adolfo Arribas. Andrew Sanchez on deck. Deutsch from the windup. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3, and the Raiders go in order for the first time tonight.
Yeah, somebody just said 109. He might be done. Well, you got to count for what he threw. And yeah, quick hug and.
He's 109. I guess the 5 pitches he pitched on Tuesday night didn't count then.
I mean, yeah, he got the little appreciation hugs from Coach Arias and Armstrong over there as he makes his way in, knowing that his night is over on the mound. One of the seniors here for Lockhart that as we were putting things away Tuesday night, they did their traditional run the bases for the last time, because
at their home field.
Tuesday was their last home game of their careers in high school.
Due up for the Lions in the 6th. Schulke, Isley, and Ibarra.
And, of course, 109 total pitches thrown by Deutsch versus 65 pitches tonight from Carter May. Been very, very efficient thus far as he now comes to his 6th inning of work. Carter May, another senior here, so a battle of the seniors tonight, and warming up now in the bullpen looks to be one of the Phillips boys.
Deutsch with 9 strikeouts himself on the 9. That pitch fouled back for a strike.
Yeah, that's
Do we have activity going in a Raider bullpen?
Waylon
Looks like
Phillips.
a lefty. That pitch misses outside.
So that's probably Mason Gonzalez.
We do have a lefty getting loose in the Raider bullpen.
Which probably be Mason Gonzalez.
Hey, how are you doing, Christina?
Oh, she's coming in here trying to disrupt stuff. I saw
that
her earlier.
high for ball 2.
I saw you, making a bunch of noise over there, giggling and everybody. She said, it wasn't my fault. She's like asking like it wasn't her fault. Come on, I know better than that.
The 2-1. This is cut on and hit over to second. Caro has it. He plants and throws to first. In time, and they'll go 4-3 on the put out of Schulke.
Number 3 checks in.
Again, we do have what should be the next
with the lone hit for the Lions tonight.
The next pitcher for the Lockhart Lions will likely be Waylon Phillips, who
That'll
looked
bring
like he
up
was warming himself
Jackson
up.
Isley. He has hit into a fielder's choice and struck out. This is cut on and hit over to short. That'll be played by Solis. Throw to first in time, and just in time. That'll go 6-4. 6-3 on the put out of Isley.
Sorry, folks, I didn't bounce it back, but again, one swing and a hit in play. I already was on the field view.
Yeah, that was
for that play.
Only the fifth pitch for May in this inning. That'll bring up Ibarra. Ibarra is 0 for 2, struck out looking and struck out swinging. He will take for a ball.
Mason Gonzalez is getting warmed up as the lefty in the Raider bullpen. That'd be number 9.
Number 9. That pitch just misses the outside corner for ball 2.
Carson Pruitt doing everything he could to frame that and bring it back in, trying to get the call from the home plate umpire, knowing that he's been like some of those outside pitches.
The 2-0. That was just low for ball 3. Down the middle, but low. The 3-0 pitch, that's high and inside for ball 4. And May gives up his second walk of the night. And that will bring up Santiago Guerra. Guerra is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. And Coach Crimpine is going to call time. And
he's coming out. This would be his first visit, so hard to really say, is this going to be a... Yep, yeah. No, he's bringing it. No, he's told him go stand on the mound. You never know. He motioned, but it was pointing to Carter May to go, hey, go stand on the mound. I'm not taking the ball from you just yet, but I need to see where you're at here mentally and understand that we now have the tying run on. I really, really want this win. I'm sure he's got his own game changer going in the bullpen over there to see where things stand with Liberty Hill.
He's going to leave him.
And so he is leaving him, but
try to get out of this inning and bring Gonzalez in. And
bottom of 6. So if they're at the bottom, that means Liberty Hill or Cedar Park is up, but they do have 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. So Liberty Hill, if they get out of this inning, is facing their last 3 outs.
To first, not
got
him.
Ooh, that was close.
It was close.
That was a close, quick snap throw over from Carter May.
Ibarra extends his lead. This is hit out to center. Connor Thompson will make the catch, and that will do it for the Lions 6. They get no runs on 1 hit. They leave 1. And after 5.5, it's Rouse 1, Lockhart nothing. On to the bottom we go. And we'll see what defensive changes take place here. Okay, so who do we have?
Mason, well, sorry, who's coming up?
It is Waylon Phillips from center.
Yes, Waylon Phillips is the new pitcher for the Lockhart Lions.
Who's in center? Can you see?
Possibly Deutsch. I don't know.
Deutsch looks like he's gone to short.
Number 8 is looking like he's making his way out, which would be Ibarra.
Connor has gone to first. Well, he's been at first. All right, that's not a change.
Nope, that's Ibarra that has made his way out to center. And your new shortstop, no, I could be wrong. Hang on.
Deutsch is at short. Yeah, and it looks like Chavez is still at second. So I think you're right. I think Ibarra is
8.
out in center.
8. Yeah, Ibarra has gone to center. And he was at short. And now Deutsch has gone to short, yes.
All righty. That's simple enough.
Yeah, and Chavez is still at second. So, okay, easy.
Meanwhile, Papa saying, keep it going, Raiders. Due up for the Raiders in the 6th. Sanchez, Pruitt, and Knight.
Colby Driscoll has now got a bat in his hand, looking to be on deck here and batting after Andrew
So he'll be hitting for
Sanchez, hitting for Carson Pruitt. And do we see anybody else with a bat? I do see somebody different. Oh, Jack
Sanchez.
Doss is now going to be coming in to hit for Scott Knight. I saw 42 with a bat in his hand and a helmet on his head. So Doss getting to.
Coach told me the other day that Doss can absolutely crush the ball.
I mean, he's a big kid, man. That doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, he will rival the size of an Andrew Sanchez all day long. Not quite the height, but a big kid.
He told me he hits it deeper than anybody else on the team. He hits it deeper and farther than anybody else on the team.
And again, folks,
That's
just a freshman. So great things to come.
Andrew Sanchez will come to the plate. He has reached on an error and flown out to left. The first pitch from Phillips, low and in for ball 1. Phillips winds and delivers. That pitch inside for ball 2.
Yep.
Phillips a lefty. His brother Weston came on in relief on Tuesday.
Weston being the senior. Waylon is a junior.
The 2-0. Again, that's inside.
Exact same spot. All three pitches.
All three of them. They've gotten to the same spot.
And here again is where you want to make that adjustment. You know, he is also another one setting up on the third base side of the rubber.
The 3-0, that pitch high for ball 4. And Sanchez will draw a leadoff walk.
That even actually drew that last pitch. Weston was like, come on. I mean, Waylon was like, come on, man. Wasn't that a strike? Looked good to me.
Colby Driscoll will make his way to the plate.
Yep, coach announcing the substitution here. Now, Driscoll is one of the catchers on staff, right?
Yes.
Can we say staff? It's like professionals.
He's one
of the catchers
pitcher
for your Rouse Raiders, and had his gear on earlier, doing some bullpen work. And we do have a new runner in for Andrew Sanchez, and that's Joe Burry, number 14, with his first bit of action tonight. Oh, inside pitch
inside for a
somehow
ball.
Driscoll able to avoid being hit by that.
Jack Doss on deck. That pitch high for ball 2.
And once again, 6 pitches thrown by Waylon Phillips and 6 straight balls, yet to record his first strike.
The 2-0, that pitch in for a strike.
There it is. Takes a little bit off of that one and sneaks that one in for his first strike. Driscoll now ready to go.
Burry takes off for second. The throw down will not be in time.
Had to grab that
a stolen base.
Had to grab that bag with the left arm as he slid right over the top and almost off the bag. Definitely would be great to have an insurance run here. And what do they call that pitch? Because we already had a 2-1 count.
It was a ball.
And they has not been recorded yet. So ball 3.
3-1. That pitch low.
Oh no.
For
Wait a second. That should be ball 4. Well, I already had a 2-1 count. Now he's saying 3-1. We both had an extra. Okay.
He didn't call the pitch.
He didn't call the pitch that was the steal.
Yep. That pitch inside for ball 4.
5th pitch, ball 4.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's
interesting.
Yeah, both you and I
That's
call the same thing.
Yeah, that's a pitch. It was a ball.
And immediately,
Coach Arias makes
that it's
way
only
out.
a one-run game, and Arias has already called for Ibarra to come in to pitch. He's already going to relieve Weston Phillips. Oh, I say that.
Yeah, Weston's headed out to back.
Ibarra pitched already Tuesday night, and he just gave that to This is okay. This is the other. This is Waylon or Weston relieving his younger brother. And just a quick little review here. $109 total pitches and 5 innings of work, allowing 3 hits, 1 run on 9 strikeouts and 4 walks was the night for Gage Deutsch.
So Ibarra is going to third?
Yeah, well, Ibarra came in, so you got to figure there's going to be some rotating around. We'll have to see where everybody gets to. Because, again, we now have
Number 13, Weston Phillips.
Yeah, Weston Phillips now coming in. Only 9 total pitches thrown by his younger brother, Waylon, before he's pulled. Waylon does not record an out or allow a hit, but he had 2 walks.
Yeah, back-to-back walks.
So no strikeouts, no hits, but 2 walks. And
well, I haven't heard that song from
now
Asia.
0 outs, but not that we should have a pitch issue for Weston Phillips, but Weston, having gone last night, what did I just do?
That's a good question.
There we go. I just went back too far. I'm trying to get the pitch count from Tuesday night. He went a third of an inning and only threw 9 pitches. So again, tons of pitches here available for
Number
Weston.
52, Jack Doss will stand in for his first opportunity. Adrian Graves on deck. Phillips will deal. That one gets the outside corner for a strike. A little high, but Phillips from the stretch, the 0-1. That's low for a ball.
Definitely drew the attention of Doss. So itching to swing at that one, but lets it go by for the ball.
The 1-1, this is fouled back for a strike, and that'll go 1-2. We want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching Rouse Raider Baseball here on SHN Sports. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe buttons. And if you want to be notified every time we go live, that was fouled back for at the same count.
Yeah, staying alive, Jack Doss.
Yeah, if you want to be notified, be sure and hit that notification bell for when we go live. Guerra gives the sign. Phillips comes set. The 1-2 pitch, that's outside for a ball. That'll even up the count at 2.
Good patience there shown by Jack. Not offering at that pitch way outside. It's a good sign.
He turns on that one, hits it foul. Into the Raider dugout.
Keeping everybody on their toes over there.
2-2 the count to Doss.
Again, Doss hitting for
Two
Scott
on.
Knight in the 9 spot.
2 on with no outs. Runners at first and second. Swing and a miss on a pitch outside for strike 3.
And that does record the first out of the inning. Back to the top of the lineup, Adrian Graves. With the speed of Joe Burry at second, any base hit here that finds its way through the infield should potentially score Joe Burry from second.
Phillips deals.
Woo-hoo.
Wow.
What a massively 12-6 breaking pitch there. Called for the strike. That just floated in.
He goes right back with it and gets another strike.
Is he throwing a knuckleball?
The 0-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and away. For back-to-back strikeouts.
Trying to pick up on it. It almost looks like he's throwing just this soft knuckle. Maybe that's that slur.
Phillips will deal. Another strike to Caro. Caro is singled, flown out to left, and hit into a fielder's choice. The 0-1, that's outside for ball 1. Jacob Solis on deck. This is a fly ball hit out to center. Phillips in on it. He'll make the catch, and that will do it for the Raiders' 6th. They get no runs on no hits. They strand 2. And after 6 complete, it's Raiders 1, Lockhart nothing.
Scott Knight comes back out defensively, and Carter May is coming back out to possibly finish this game in the top of the 7th. Carter May only at 75 total pitches. Oh my goodness. And Liberty Hill has woken up and brought it to a 3-2 score with 2 on. Runners on the corners with only 1 out. So they've plated 2 runs already here in the bottom of the 7th. Sorry, top of the 7th. Excuse me. Top of the 7th. So
due up for the Lions in the 7th. Connor, Waylon Phillips, and Gage Deutsch.
So that makes this half of this inning for your Rouse Raiders that much more important, again, to keep ourselves alive at a tie for district champs. With a win here, Lockhart down to their last 3 outs.
It's Gage Deutsch. What? Oh, that's up first? Yeah, it's Gage.
But that's not who's up right now.
No, that's not who's up.
Parker Connor.
Yeah, Parker Connor is up. He's 0 for 2. He is grounded to second and third.
Parker Connor.
Swing and a miss for strike 1.
And that has been a consistent spot for Parker Connor from Tuesday night even through tonight. Good flat swing, but just coming up empty.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. Waylon Phillips on deck. The 0-2. This is poked into right field, and that'll drop in for a base hit.
Well, Just a little Texas leaguer there. Finds its way into no man's land over the top of Andrew Sanchez at first and out of the reach of Christian Cara, who gave chase and not able to get there.
The first pitch to Phillips outside for ball one. Phillips 0 for 2. He has struck out and flown out to right. And Coach Crimpine is going to call time.
Now could this be a situation of change, or again, just a quick little pep talk here of understanding the gravity of the situation?
Gonzalez is warming up again in the bullpen.
Yeah, and he is making the move
Gonzalez
to Mason Gonzalez. Carter May, his night is over here. Making way for the lefty out of the bullpen, Mason Gonzalez. Carter May's night finishes going 6 full innings, allowing only 1 hit, which was that last one there. 10 strikeouts and 2 walks on 79 total pitches, 53 for strikes. So again, a great outing. And actually having our first recorded double-digit strikeout count for a pitcher this season for the Raiders.
Well, in the broadcast season, anyway.
Correct, broadcast season. Apologize. It could possibly be some others out there that, during tournament play and games that we haven't been a part of this year, but in the broadcasting games.
Gonzalez will inherit a 1-0 count to Waylon Phillips.
Yes, and this is the spot once again.
Base is loaded with 1 out.
For Liberty Hill?
For Liberty Hill right now.
So again, another opportunity. Another opportunity for Liberty Hill to pad their lead, having already plated 2 runs in the top of the 7th. Mason Gonzalez now
ready to
all
go.
of his pitches in and ready to roll here and get things back underway. Again, top of the 7th here for your Rouse Raiders against Lockhart Lions. Lockhart with 1 runner on. That would be the tying run represented at first base. No outs. 1-0 count to Waylon Phillips. Oh, yeah. Can't have that on. Andrew Sanchez. Great teammate doing some cleanup duties there for Mason Gonzalez. Of course, Tuesday night, Waylon making great contact on 2 occasions with shots to dead center field in that game.
Gonzalez comes set. The 1-0 pitch had his bunted foul for strike 1.
And just like that, 1 pitch and able to even up the count.
Yep, even up the count. Deutsch helping out his on-deck fielding percentage. Again, Phillips shows bunt. He left his bat head out there, and he will take the strike.
I mean, I think you would think it was a strike regardless of the pitch, but not able to make any contact. So just like that, goes from a 1-0 count to a 1-2 count, and not really going to see another rounding for bunt.
1-2, strike 3 as he gets caught looking.
And just like, wow, great pitch from Mason Gonzalez coming in.
Michelle Nelson checking in. Let's go Raiders.
Mason Gonzalez recording the first out of this inning and coming in with very limited use this season.
Yeah, he hasn't made very many appearances on the mound. Breaking ball outside for ball one. Deutsch has walked and struck out.
It's one thing I always love to watch from a lefty pitcher is that pickoff move.
As Connor extends his lead at first, a swing and a foul, and that will even the count at 1. Gonzalez comes in relief, but this is a save opportunity for him here. The tying run and the go-ahead run at the plate. That pitch outside for ball 2.
Another close pitch there, not called strike.
Nona says, keep it going, Mason. A 2-1, swing and a miss for strike 2.
A little off speed there.
That will even it up at 2.
Gets Deutsch way out in front.
Weston Phillips on deck. A 2-2, a swing and a miss.
Again, drop third strike does not matter when first base is occupied, and the runner took off. If I'm not mistaken, he got caught in that same exact thing Tuesday night. Same base runner. Right? That's Connor Parker.
Yeah, Parker Connor.
Got Parker Connor. You know, the guy with the 2 first names.
That'll bring up Weston Phillips. He will take for a strike on the outside corner. Phillips is 0 for 2. He has strikeouts.
And down to their last 2 strikes here in this game.
The 0-1 is swung on and missed and bounces away from Pruitt for strike 2.
Just like that, folks. Oh, my goodness. Liberty Hill does it again and leaves bases loaded with only 1 out and not able to plate another run. So they have a 3-2 lead, though, with Cedar Park coming with their last at bat here in the bottom of the 7th. And
Phillips will call time. And
Lockhart down to their last out of this game with, again, the base.
Phillips with an 0-2 count.
Oh, last strike.
Gonzalez comes set. The 0-2 pitch.
There it is.
The throw down the first to complete the strikeout, and that will do it. And the Raiders will take game 2 by the slimmest of margins.
But that solidifies these Rouse Raiders as district champs. Question will be, are they co-district champs or outright district champs? Cedar Park is 1 inning, their half of the inning in the 7th away from that. Now, on the other side of that equation, Hayes has already lost tonight.
Yep.
Glenn will need to win in order to write their ticket into a playoff game against Hayes for the 2nd spot in District 1 of the big teams. And they are now in a 2-2 tie against Leander in the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th, Glenn has 2 on with 2 outs. And nope, just like that.
Strikeout.
They have a strikeout, so they're done. We are now going to the bottom of the 6th with Leander's opportunity to try to bring a run in to go up in that game. So a lot of things happening, folks. I would tell you that keep your eyes open for, we're going to try to update you. We can't update you anymore because those games are still going on, and ours is now over with, again, your Rouse Raiders victorious 1-0 tonight. And some quick stats from this game.
Wait, let me do this right
Yeah.
quick. Nona
All right.
checks in. 1, 2, 3 strikes. We win.
Yes,
Nona,
we
Nona
do.
working her magic.
She worked the juju on the pitcher's mound for Big Gonzo tonight. Yes, she did, folks.
Letty Martinez checking in, sending our Lockhart seniors our best. Ethan Mendez, Gage Deutsch, Weston Phillips, and Santa Guerra.
Yes, the seniors, just that was it for them, man. They're
Yeah, that's
done, not able to continue their senior year into the playoffs, and tip our hats to those guys and everything they've meant for their
Yeah, and all of our friends at Lockhart.
teams, their parents, their family, their teammates. It's always fun watching these guys and seeing the Phillips brothers, right? And we still
Right,
get,
absolutely.
Waylon still making another year of it as he is just a junior. So Weston hangs him up tonight, and he is done. Don leaving, and our scoreboard is walking out there as well.
The old Don,
Son-in-law.
Don Miller headed out.
The original Don.
I guess you say
The original Don.
because we call Jaime the new Dons.
So we have the original, the OG.
The OG.
The OG Don.
All right, Jonathan, why don't you run down the final numbers?
Quick little final numbers here. Again, the final score here, Rouse Raiders victorious 1-0 over the Lockhart Lions. Carter May, 6 total innings, allowing only 1 hit on 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, 79 total pitches. Mason Gonzalez comes in to finalize this game, going 1 full inning, 2 strikeouts, no walks on 11 pitches, 9 for strikes. Offensively,
he should have 3 strikeouts. He struck out.
Did he strike out all 3?
But Carter May put him on.
Man, I'm just telling you what's going on here. I
Well,
can only read what I can read.
Whoever's keeping Game Changer in the dugout has got it wrong.
We got to get on them.
Got to account for those 3 outs. So what did they call those 3 outs?
Yeah, maybe a hit, fly ball.
So Mason had 3 strikeouts.
Oh, drop, third strike.
Yeah. It's K-2-3. That's a strikeout.
Still a strikeout. They didn't. They just didn't. They probably registered that as a 2-3 out instead of a K-2-3.
Yeah.
Anyway,
K-2-3.
Offensively, your Rouse Raiders brought 21 to the plate. Again, not having to go at bat in the bottom of the 7th.
Strikeouts we had. I think we had.
They had 11 strikeouts against, 6 walks.
And 2 hit batters.
We need 2 hit batters, Rivas and Pruitt both getting on from hit batters. Now
that just says a lot for Deutsch for having that many walks and hit batters. And I mean, there's no defense for walks and hit batters, and able to only allow 1 run that actually scored on an error by that slide by Chavez when he was covering first.
Yes, sir. And more importantly here,
had that not happened, we might still be playing ball right now.
We had an unbelievable outing from Raider pitching in this series, only allowing 1 total hit in 2 games, in 2 shutouts. Again, 13-0 being the shutout Tuesday night. Offensively, the Raiders were clicking on all cylinders. Tonight, only going 1-0, but again, that is a testament to the pitching from Gage Deutsch, who just did a phenomenal, going 109 total pitches. He had 10 strikeouts recorded on a total of 109 pitches, going 5 innings, 3 hits. I'm sorry, he had 9 strikeouts, 4 walks. So the total of 6 walks. So again, great pitching on their part in a tight.
Raiders stranded 10.
Yeah, they did. Again, there was the walk, 6 walks, 2 hit batters. There's eight guys right there.
Right.
Some of those did probably come around the score. Oh, well, I don't know if one of them came around the score, but if none of them did, there's 8 guys right there.
Now the one score was Rivas on that stand-up double.
Okay.
So he's the lone base runner. So that was an earned run on Deutsch, but at any rate, what a tip our hat to the Lockhart Lions, who are playing just really undermanned.
They are. They brought 9 to this game, folks. I mean, that just goes to show, they're in it.
They're playing
with
the heart of a lion, and you got to appreciate the passion of Santiago Guerra behind the plate, just playing with heart. Every punch out that Deutsch would register, he was just pumped.
Carroll was pumped.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so, being down in numbers and doing what they did tonight was, it was just phenomenal for them. So,
well, we have a game on tap.
Yeah, we do have a game on tap for tomorrow. It'll be the senior game. It'll be Rouse, or it'll be Lake Belton coming in tomorrow. That will be a 12 o'clock game start, but the activities, we'll actually start our broadcast. I believe they're going to start around 11:20, 25-ish with the senior day activities, and we'll get underway so that y'all can see that and see your seniors in their senior day game.
And it will be, folks, a Francis and Francis broadcast.
It will be.
As Tim Francis, one of the three sons, to
One of
Mr.
them, he's in the middle.
Michael Francis, will be replacing myself. So you will have a lot better broadcast team going into tomorrow than is the norm, with Francis and Francis. And
Okay, no self-deprecation here.
I've got prior engagements for this game, and so that's what we're on tap for tomorrow. And again, we still up to this point do not know who our counterpart will be in District 1. Now, granted, we won't see them, right? We're not going to see anybody in Division 2.
Yeah, no,
we
won't
could see if it's Glenn or Hayes, we could possibly see them in the third round if they're able to make it past the by-district round and the area round.
We would see them in the regional quarterfinals.
So, as it stands right now, we are just sitting in idle. I believe Coach did mention, Coach Krimping did mention that he may not be here tomorrow,
depending
if New Braunfels
loses.
Because he's going to want to be able to scout our first round by-district opponent. I know Smithson Valley was here tonight.
They were.
I don't know if New Braunfels was here tonight. That's very likely that somebody from New Braunfels was here and maybe hiding, not being as very apparent. And I don't know. I'm wondering, is that something they have to do? Do they have to wear their team's colors
no.
to come here to these games? Because almost every time I see somebody, they've got their hat on or a shirt on or something that identifies them as a participant for that other squad.
So at any rate, we want to thank you all for tuning in. We're going to give a shout out to Emilio the Sarge Juarez with Lions Pride Broadcast. Thank you for allowing us to bring Lockhart Lion baseball along with our broadcast to your fans tonight and Tuesday night. With you being out of it and not able to be there, we're thankful to be a part of Lockhart Lion broadcast as well. So,
and great to hear that he's doing better.
Doing better.
Yes. Great
so
to hear
for
that.
Jonathan Kaspar, I'm Michael Francis. Thank you all for tuning in and watching Rouse Raider Baseball. We will see y'all tomorrow and may have some playoff information about who we may be facing in the next round, and we might be able to share that with y'all tomorrow.